International Customary Law. Customary international law is a body of commonly accepted rules of conduct or international norms that have arisen out of consistent and long-standing practice, and the nations have followed out of a sense of binding obligation. Examples of customary international law include rules for prosecuting the crimes of slavery, piracy, and genocide, rules for diplomatic immunity and the protection of ambassadors, rules for the unavoidability embassies, rules that protect civilians during the war, or rules governing the seizure or prevent vessels during wartime. In the United States, however, it is generally accepted as a part of American law to be applied by courts where there are no contradictory statute or treaty and where there is no other way to resolve the case other than by applying customary norms. Limits on the international customary law. The U.S. Alien Tort Statute. The U.S. Alien Tort Statute (ATS) was enacted in 1789. It gave the United States federal courts jurisdiction over several actions for damages brought by non-U.S. citizens for tort committed against them by non-citizens outside the United States in violation of the norms of customary international law. International business law is the body of laws and regulations derived from national and international sources that governs cross-border business transactions and activities of those doing business in foreign courts and the resolution international business disputes. Modern IBL came from the law, merchant and maritime law, the accepted customs and practices of ancient and medieval merchants, traders, bankers, mariners, and ship owners. EU stands for European Union. It is a large regional system comprising of all European nations who applied and received membership of this union. It is the largest free trade bloc in the world today, and the main aim behind the creation of a European Union was to remove trade barriers between countries sharing not just borders but culture, histories, language, and people. NAFTA stands for National American Free Trade Agreement, and it is in fact an attempt by America to have a free trade zone comparable to United Nations, although there are many similarities between NAFTA and European Union. People in European Union have a single currency called euro, while 3 member countries make use of their own currencies in NAFTA. NAFTA is just an agreement meant for foster trade between member countries, while the European Union is a distinct political entity with the European Parliament in place. The 3 members of NAFTA were not enemies, while United Nations contained many members who have fought several wars with each other. European Union has emerged as a trading bloc for the rest of the world and a confederation that commands 20% GDP of the world. Once agreements move beyond the regional level, they usually need help. That's where the World Trade Organization steps in. It is an international body that helps negotiate global trade agreements. Once in place, the WTO enforces the agreement and responds to complaints. The WTO currently enforces the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. The world almost received greater free trade from the next round, known as the Doha Round Trade Agreement. If successful, Doha would have reduced tariffs across the board for all WTO members. Unfortunately, the two most powerful economies refused to budge on a key sticking point. Both the US and the European Union resisted lowering farm subsidies. These subsidies made their food export prices lower than those in many emerging market countries.